So what have been the challenges since we have gotten here? Well, it's not easy because when we were here in the 1990s, we were much younger. And what else has changed? We have 2 kids. And a lot of the things that we are going through as an adults, well, when you're a teenager, you miss a lot of the same things. So what is it that we miss about home? Well, we certainly miss a house because now we live in a small little apartment. So that's a big change, especially for the kids. We certainly don't have the space. What has also been a challenge is we miss our friends, like a lot of people. You start to miss your friends. Little side note here, we had to put our cat down when we came over here, and that's a little bit sad. What else do we miss? We miss a lot of snow. We miss playing hockey. So what am I doing in Korea? I'll tell you what it is. You may not understand the term, but if your parents are old, like I am, they'll understand this. I had a midlife crisis. What does that mean? Well, it means I'm 44 years old. And last year, I went to a clinic which talked about retirement. And I realized I've only got 15 years left before I have to retire. So I had to ask myself a question. Do I want to teach public school for another 15 years and deal with drugs and fighting and this and that and kids that don't know anything? And I said, well, you know what? I've done 13 years here in Canada. I think I can go and teach better kids. So we decided to go to what are called job fairs. And at job fairs, schools from around the world interview you and they ask you questions and they try and decide, hey, would these people be a good fit? Well, the amazing thing is, despite the fact that my wife and I have been teaching overseas for many years, we really didn't get too many opportunities for jobs. So I remembered that there was an association of Christian schools out there. And I said, well, why don't I try and contact them? And I talked to Dr. Beeson and Mr. Parrish, and my wife talked to Mr. Laser, and we set up some Skype interviews. I guess we told them all the right answers that they wanted to because crazily, we got hired. And I was excited because I had spent 4 years at SIS teaching here in Korea, so I kind of knew the country, but I'd also been reading a lot about things that had changed. So I think it was a good fit. So that's kind of really how we got there. The funny story behind it is, and of course you guys all know that I'm Canadian, is ironically, when did we get the job offer? And it just so happened as we were getting ready to go to the hockey game that I opened up my email and there was a job offer. So what better place for a Canadian to get hired than on his way to an NHL hockey game? All right, but what's it been like since I've been here? Well, one word comes to mind, tired. If you see me floating around kind of with a dazed look, I will tell you, it's a big job to come and work here at a school like this. And though we are happy and really glad that we've been given this opportunity to work here, for most first-year teachers in an international school, you're doing a lot of work. So sometimes I don't make sense in class, or sometimes I say something that just doesn't come out right. Just remember, myself and a lot of the first-year teachers, we're pretty tired. But I will say this, tiredness aside, are we happy to be here? We are ecstatic to be here. We think it's a real blessing, hopefully in the long term, for both my wife and I as teachers. And we think it's going to be a great place for our kids to learn, where they'll get challenged and they'll learn things that they would never have been able to learn in Canada. So overall, we are ecstatic to be here. I'm happy to have you guys as students, and I look forward to nothing but better times as we go forward here at Yes.